What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how a 98-cent piece of rubber and a $3 tube of marine grade silicone can save you a lot of money on installing a fish finder on your kayak. Let's get to it. Okay, right behind me, this is the 2018 Jackson Big Rig. This will be my personal kayak for all of 2019. I bought this from a friend of mine, Justin Hausner. He is the owner of Fuzzy Guppies in Waterloo. Highly recommend checking out everything he does there. It's a campground. It's right on the water. It's right in the middle of the beautiful Finger Lakes, right on the Seneca-Cayuga Canal. This is a great kayak. He got it for me at a great price. Highly recommend going through Justin at Fuzzy Guppies in Waterloo, New York. Okay, here she is. This is the Lowrance Elite 5 HDI. It's got a 5-inch screen. It has GPS capabilities. Inside I do have the Navionics chip. It has GPS, it has down scan, and it has sonar. With the Navionics chip, it shows me the contours and everything else that's underwater without just reading your depth like that. So my issue with my brand new Big Rig is I have nowhere to neatly run wires. I want to mount this probably on that side rail or maybe right here in the middle. I do have this ram mount that was off my other kayak. Goes on like that. Whoa, let's not lose a GPS on my floor, or my graph on my floor. So this will allow it to mount like this on any of my slide rails. It does have the little adapter at the bottom to go into these side rails. So my issue here is I have this whole mess of wires and my transducer that I have to figure out how it's going to go through here. And the hardest part for a new kayak owner is even the little thought when you're spending around $1,000 or more is drilling a hole in your kayak. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what you're going to need and try to hope you get a little bit of confidence in drilling an inch hole in a kayak. Okay, so I got this little rubber grommet. My thought is putting it about here. That way if my graph is either here or over there, I can run my wires down and over and through, or through this little channel over and through. It'll be very neat. I want to put it here. This inside diameter is 1 1/16 of an inch. 1 1/16 inch hole. So I'll have to drill a hole somewhere in here neatly to be able to have my wires pass through, because inside here will be where my battery will be. So I'll have my transducer hanging off the side, probably here, over the side. Or I might build a little mount to go through the scupper. This does have a little spot in the bottom of it for a transducer. That might be another video. So anywho, we got to get to drilling a hole through this here, which is quite intimidating when you're spending around $1,000 or more on a kayak to float on water. I think the last thing you want to do is drill a hole in it. So hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll do this right, and it won't give us an issue. Here is everything you are going to need for this entire install, right down to my graph. So like I said, this is a Lowrance Elite 5 HDI. It's a little dirty because I use it. This, it doesn't say anything, well, other than it's SanDisk. That is Navionics Hot Maps Plus. That's the unit that I'm going to be installing. This is the Ram ball, made by Ram, not a knockoff. This is what clips into the back of this unit, just like that, so I can mount it. This is the actual Ram mount. I'm not 100% sure of the name of it. And this is the Ram ball that accepts the T-nut to go into the slide rails. Clips on like that, and you can clip it on the top right there. That's what makes that. This is a Scotty I don't know the official name, over the side transducer mount. This is the transducer is included with that when you buy it new. So yeah, that's the Scotty, like over the side transducer mount with all the wires for the GPS. Okay, now to do the actual drilling and the work of this project. This is a 1-inch rubber grommet. I have a Milwaukee hole dozer. This is 1 inch. I think this will work. This is just the bit you get when you buy a bit set. The pilot bit is a Milwaukee compact drill. I mean, your father's old drill will work. Doesn't have to be Milwaukee. And here's the deal with the silicone. This is what I use. This is G&E all-purpose, 100% waterproof, 100% silicone. That's what you're looking for, is 100% silicone. It's weatherproof, sunproof, freeze-proof, flexible. You want it to remain flexible, and being it's sunproof, it won't yellow, it won't dull. It will. This will waterproof your kayak, essentially, so no water will be able to get inside of your hull. That's what we're going to need. You also are going to need a caulking gun. The silicone does not come with a caulk gun. You're going to have to buy one of them. I think they're like $3 or $4. The last thing, I think, is just some paper towels. This is just obviously to keep your hands clean, to keep your working area clean. So, also, I do not have them, but if you do need them, you can get rubber gloves, latex gloves, nitrile gloves, whatever, if you need them. There are some people with an allergic reaction to silicone while it is still wet. If you have a reaction to silicone or whatever, make sure you're wearing gloves. You don't want to rash or break out in anything. Okay, now on to the fun part. Let's cut a hole. Okay, so being we're cutting a hole that's going to be making or keeping this kayak as waterproof as physically possible, you're going to need something precise. So one tool I did forget is a circular saw. You definitely do not want to cut a hole unless you're using a circular saw, especially on a kayak. Joking. April Fools. So what we're going to do here is get our drill ready to drill a hole. You want to kind of just clean the area here and I guess just punch through. Disclaimer. I am not responsible for any damages, injury, warranty voids, or any possible negative outcome from cutting a hole in any kayak. Please use extreme caution. So, I'm hoping you can all see that. Trying to get you a good view here. Wrong way. Okay, so what I'm going to do, most of my wires have been coming that way, transducer, I'm just going to go right in the middle here. You can mark this if you want to be more precise. Again, also, I don't know what your kayak is. Make sure there's nothing behind this. I've already checked. I know this is, my kayak's brand new, it's completely empty. Just make sure you're not drilling into your battery or something. Okay, so here we go. Just going to drill a nice, easy pilot hole. Nice and slow. It's going to take the bit. And then you're just going to slowly... 12-volt batteries are great. Okay. Slowly cut the hole through the kayak. While keeping your kayak, or keep the drill square in your hand. That will give you the best hole you can get trying to punch. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention, in seriousness, is soap and water. I have friends from Philadelphia, that's the Wooter. That's a Philadelphian reference. So you need some soap and water. This will help lubricate the rubber grommet going through here. Okay. So you want to soak that down good. Spray the hole. And this is going to be a fight. let me tell you something. No matter how many times you do something like this, I used to do this stuff a lot on four-wheelers, snowmobiles, and side-by-sides, installing accessories. I used to have a job doing that. Every time you drill through something that is expensive, it's nerve-wracking. Okay, so right here, this is the wire for my transducer, and right here, this is the wire for my power. So I'm going to run my power through first. It'll definitely be the easiest. So what I'm going to do, it's not a very long wire. I had it cut for my last kayak. This might not work on a boat anymore, but it's going to be fine because my battery's going to be right about in the middle down here. So what I'm going to do, you're going to take your 3 wires, pass them through. That's it. That's done how it sits here. Leave this wire here. I think my graph is probably going to go in the middle. So if I want to even get fancy, I can tuck my wire through there. It looks nice and neat. The more difficult part is my transducer wire. So what I want to do for that is I'm going to take my wire, and this is the old silicone from my last kayak. If you're worried about it, you can peel it off. You want to fold the wire in half. Don't go too hard. You don't want to break any little tiny wires in there. You just want to push it through. This might be difficult. Just try not to push the grommet through, or else you're going to have to kind of restart everything of working with that grommet. Okay, so we got the wire through. Transducer wire is here. Set that there. Now, if you've ever installed one of these before on a boat or anything, you know there's like 20 feet of wire here. So you're going to just have to feed your long end through all of it. Okay, so here's my update. Is I've had to go here. I ran my power wire through. That's simple. I cannot fit my transducer wire through there. Okay, this looks good. Got my wires ran. They ran underneath this and in. It's very neat. Looks nice. And I just included a small zip tie here just to secure them to the post. Okay, so I put a small zip tie here. That holds the cable to this, so it's not going to be splashing around in the water. Obviously, I fixed my transducer. Ran it up underneath here, and it wedges itself into my rail. Just neatly comes over here and inside of my hole. So now, on to the very important part, silicone. This is what is going to water seal this, make it nice, keep the inside of your kayak dry. If you ever get stuck in heavy rains, water coming over the side, sometimes you get a little splash up through your scupper hole. That'll keep this all plugged up as if you never did anything. So I'll show you how to go ahead and do that. It gets messy. Make sure you have some paper towels or something to clean with. And again, if you're allergic to silicone, there is silicone allergy out there. Make sure you're wearing gloves and keeping yourself safe. Okay, so you get a little silicone out. Basically, you want to keep this as natural looking, I guess, as you can. So I'm going to start right in the middle. And I'm just going to apply some silicone there. A couple, like maybe half a full pump. Go to the bottom. Basically, I'm pumping it in between the wires. And my gun isn't really working all too well here. I'm going to switch guns. Hang on. Okay, we're all set. Got a different gun. That other one was a little bit rusty and old. So you want to keep the hole when you cut it, you want to keep the hole a little bit smaller. That way you can be a little bit more precise. So what I'm doing is I'm tucking it in between the holes. I wonder if I just have some silicone dried up and wedged. So, back to what we were doing. In between the wires. There she goes. That looks better. I'm going to apply it quite liberally. It keeps plugging up on me. And, wow. Maybe buy a better caulk gun than the one I got, huh? That's cool. All my rivets just pulled out. Oh, man, this is my luck. That's my luck. So, don't buy junky caulk guns. This is, doesn't even have a brand on it. Buy something a little better than that. I'm putting it in between. There she goes. That looks a lot better. in between the wires and just trying to get it all over there without making a huge mess. I'm going to set this over here before I hurt myself. And that's why you have paper towels. A little does go a long way. You don't need to use half of a tube. Just kind of push it in any openings. Just remember, water can go anywhere. Let's get a little close up. You can see everywhere around that is sealed. It isn't really that difficult. I'll just make it look difficult. That's what I'm good at. I'm just going to go through a little bit more. Just clean up on the rubber. Just to kind of tidy it up, make it look halfway decent. So, there you go. It's now sealed. I would let this dry for 20. So that's a cheap way to hook up a transducer fish finder into a kayak, this being a Jackson big rig. But if you can find that grommet at any local small hardware store, anything really, find that grommet, get the tools you need. You can do this on any kayak. I hope you took something away from this video other than just laughing at me the last 2 minutes. I blew up a caulk gun and got silicone all over my hands. So I hope that you did learn something. I figured this out on my last one. I know that Jackson does sell a through kit. Hobie sells a through kit. I think Wilderness sells a through kit. They're all like $25 to $30. That was $1 in a grommet. And I mean, most places, if you're doing your own work, you probably have everything else you'll need. And I think a tube of silicone is $3. So again, I will link everything from my battery to my kayak to everything in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you have any questions. If you're in the area, definitely check out Fuzzy Guppies. And I hope to see you on the water, and I'll see you in the next video.